Welcome to Week Gen C.
Focused on young adults in the Northwest
And their careers in a post-pandemic world. Fancy yourself a successful entrepreneur?
We talk to local star entrepreneurs, finding out how they got to where they are.
And what they learnt along the way.
Hi Katherine, how's it going?
Thanks, Dave.
All right, thanks.
Thanks for talking with us.
Thanks for asking.
Can you tell us a bit more about KIPPIE and what it does?
Sure. We think that computer games should be made by the same sort of people who are playing computer games. So that means sort of listening to more voices than your traditional computer game maker. So we're working with young people with learning disabilities. We're working with teenage girls around the sort of first year, second year stage to try and make sure more girls stay tuned into tech. And yeah, we're just encouraging people to use computer games as like a medium of expressing themselves, of telling their stories, and just trying to make sure we have a real good range of authentic voices.
Is that one thing you are focusing on? Because there is a lack of girls who are involved in gaming. Is that something you target, eh?
Yeah, that's a huge issue to us. There's going to be like a massive sort of time bomb for young women and girls now, because they're not studying IT, they're not studying computer science, and all of, well, not all, but a huge amount of the future jobs in Northern Ireland are in things like tech and creative digital resources. So if you think 17% of the students who study like computer science at A level are girls. So that's a huge amount of disparity there. So we're really keen to show girls that maybe their perceptions of what coding is different or out of date, or maybe you know, that there are different ways that you can use technical skills and computer skills, and that yeah, we just think it's really important for Derry as a whole that, you know, both men and women are capable of filling these jobs that are about to be created, I think.
Definitely. And in terms of KIPPIE's social enterprise structure, can you tell us why you decided to go down that route?
Yeah, sure. So the first company I started wasn't a social enterprise. It was just a standard business. It didn't last terribly long, but I found that sort of business environment where profit was put ahead of everything else just wasn't something I could get excited about. It wasn't something I felt comfortable with. It's never been like a motivating force in my life or in my two co-partners' lives. You know, obviously we want to be able to have a roof above our heads, but yeah, that, you know, there's also the fact that, you know, we also have, you know, fun lives outside of work, and we don't want to have to spend every hour of every day working to try and make money. So we wanted to do something that was really worthwhile and that we enjoyed doing, and we were just really lucky that we sort of happened across this idea of teaching people to make computer games, because we get to do what we love and we get to really enjoy watching people learn a skill they didn't know that they had.
Cool. And what's the best thing about running a social enterprise, and how important is the social aspect and impact to you?
So the social aspect is really important. I think there's a lot of support actually in the Northwest and in Northern Ireland in general for social enterprises. It's a really good community. And people are seen like really keen to help each other, and will, you know, happily pass on information and any opportunities. And yeah, like I said in the last question there, the fact that we are doing something worthwhile makes it easier for us to do our job, you know, and makes it easier for us to be passionate about it and work the long hours that sort of running your own business takes.
Definitely. And what advice would you give a young person starting out in business?
I guess get as much experience as you can. Try out if you can. I realize that's not always possible for everyone, but if you can, take sort of different opportunities that come your way, so you get to experience lots of different roles, and you get to find out what your skills are and what you're good at by trying things. So yeah, I think if you can, try things, and always just be open and listen and take advice and support where it is, because there is quite a lot out there.
Does it just take everything on?
Yep, basically, yeah, give it a go.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And what are the top 3 skills young people should develop if they want to explore business?
Okay, so I think probably the most important is listening. It's being able to sort of take your ego to one side, because it's really easy to get wrapped up in an idea, to sort of fall in love with one of your ideas and see it like a baby. And if people don't like it, then they're wrong and they don't understand it, and that's not going to get you anywhere. You have to be open to feedback, to change, to being able to react to situations and to how people react to what you're doing. So yeah, being open, being able to accept advice, and yeah, being able to listen, I guess.
Because that was one thing I was talking with some career advisors this week, and they were saying, say even for if it's even like a CV, if something's not wrong, if any chance you can get, take feedback, and then maybe what's went wrong, you can fix it and turn it around for yourself.
Yeah, always, if possible, take feedback. I've had several jobs that I didn't get from the interview, but because I went back like a week later and asked for feedback, asked how they were getting on, and would just sort of stay in touch with them, then people have come back to me and said, actually, you know what, the last person we hired didn't work out, but because we've seen your face hanging about, we thought we'd give you a go. So yeah, just try and keep in touch with people, show that you're keen, and one way of showing that is by asking for feedback. So definitely.
Yeah. And how have you overcome challenges in your social enterprise?
I don't know if we've overcome them. We're still working on that. There are lots of challenges, and couldn't have done it without my two other co-founders and our support, like from family and friends and business organizations such as Enterprise Northwest and Brian there. So yeah, knowing that there is help out there, knowing where to look for it, and getting yourself involved in like networking events. I know I'm sure everybody's saying that, and it's not something that I find particularly easy. I don't really like sort of putting myself out there and chatting to folk, but it's one of those things you have to do, and you never know who's going to be able to help, who will say, oh, I know what you should do, or there's a fund that's perfect for that.
How would you say COVID's affected your social enterprise?
Initially, I suppose like everybody, we were in shock, and nobody quite knew what we were going to do, because we were used to going in and delivering these workshops face to face. So it did initially have an effect on our business, but it became clear then that there were other needs that we could meet, that a lot of our students were finding the lockdown particularly stressful. We're finding it hard to understand what was going on, and we're really sort of crying out for any online activity. So we had to pivot, we had to adjust what we did. We had to start giving classes over Zoom. We had to sort of overcome challenges like not being able to, the kids can't, we would normally go and bring all the equipment to the students, so the iPads and the computers, and of course that couldn't happen. So we had to sort of find more ingenious ways of trying to teach, and it's taught us a lot actually, and hopefully it means that we're going to be able to get a bit further with our sort of online output.
Well, thanks, Katherine. It was great talking to you. It's very insightful.
You're welcome.
Cheers.